All right. Just want to show a little bit more progress on my Gemini build. It's going a little slow. I've kind of wandered away from it because it just got a little frustrating. It's overwhelming a little bit. But anyway, I've got got the tail section just kind of sitting in there. I still have to drill a hole for the bolt that locks it in, but it slides in, sits underneath that piece of ply right there. I've got the horizontal stabilizer bolted on there now, and my elevator, it's just dry fit in there. There's no glue in there, but got the elevator on there and the rudder. That's coming along pretty good. Up here, I really haven't done a whole lot more. I got my wing bolt-ons, or the T-nuts, in the upper part, well, they're in the wing, and then the bolts will come up through the fuselage. And instead of like socket bolts, I've got these long eye bolts. I figured because they matched up to the T-nuts that I bought, I figured these eye bolts would be kind of nice because it'll give me something to grab onto and not really need tools to loosen. But those will thread up in there, and I imagine a little thread locker on the T-nuts will keep those from backing out. But I think that'll be all right. I don't have the nose wheel on it yet, but I did. I couldn't find a dual strut nose gear, so I made one. Just fabricated it out of just some aluminum. This block I actually had. It was actually a bigger block, but I took it over to my dad's house and put it on his mill and milled that down. Drilled and tapped 2 holes there and 1 hole there. Put set screw in there. Holds the spring steel rod in there real good. This piece of aluminum, it was 3 feet long. I had to go down to the hardware store and buy that, but I put a little radius on the nose because this will actually be the front of the gear, so that'll be out there, kind of, sort of. I got the hardware. I just haven't mounted it yet. I'll probably work on that here real soon. Yeah, like I said, I really haven't done a whole lot. Here's my 2 wing halves, or the 2 wing sections. You'll notice that they're straight. There's no dihedral in them. I just opted to make straight wings just because it was easier to do. I don't know. If something happens, maybe I'll try the dihedral again. But yeah, this is where the aileron will go. This will be the left wing. But yeah, and it looks real good, and it just amazes me that it's really not heavy at all, but it's so rigid. But I got the balsa on the front, a little bit here on the back. I still have to cover this section, and still have to cover that section of the right wing. Got a servo sitting in there for the aileron. Servo sitting in there. So yeah, I guess for the wing, I just got to cover this up, and I'll probably put. Let's see, this is the left wing, so I'll probably put 1 video transmitter. I haven't decided if it's going to go in this pocket here or this pocket here, but it'll be one of those pockets. There'll be a video transmitter on this wing and a video transmitter on the other wing, because I am going to run 2 FPV systems on this, so that I can fly FPV from the nose, and then somebody else can operate the observer camera, which I'm going to put probably back in this area here. And then might have like some kind of drop mechanism here, a cargo dropper. I don't know. I haven't decided if that's going to be here or more up front. I don't know. I'm still working on that. But here's where the air brakes are going to go, just like Spike did on his. I've got all my servos, and I've got the hardware to make the mount for the servos, and I got the hinges for the air brakes, so I'll probably be working on that here real soon too. But yeah, I mean, I haven't done a whole lot from it. I got to get back to it. Hopefully it'll fly this year. But no, I'm real happy with it so far. I bought some more balsa to cover this up and cover this up. I did put some strips inside the motor nacelles. This is where the ESCs will sit, and I imagine this will get covered up to, I don't know, about there, and then covered up about here. So ESCs will sit in there, and then there'll be a cover that gets bolted on both the motor nacelles. And like I said, I'm gonna put a TBS Crossfire diversity receiver in this. Let's see, I've got that. Yeah, I've got that up there, and I got my new Tyrannus. I'm starting to understand it a little better. I've got the Crossfire mounted on the back of the Tyrannus. I was actually playing around with one of the Crossfire micro receivers in my little wing today, and it flew pretty. The wing flew well. It just kind of made me nervous just because it was so small and fast. But anyway, that's a completely another story. So yeah. Anyway, Gemini's coming along. I am real happy with it. I'm just amazed at. I mean, I don't know. I'm just amazed. I'm really liking it. A lot of ground clearance. I think there's like 8.5 or 9 inches of ground clearance right here. It sits so high. I think it's going to be. It's definitely going to be an attention grabber when it's all said and done. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. So anyway, just kind of an update on what's going on. Thanks for watching, guys.